Suspense is one of the most common elements of film. One film that demonstrates the creation of suspense effectively is Let the Right One In. Let the Right One In is a 2008 romantic horror directed by Thomas Alfredson, winning a plethora of respectable awards. The film follows Oscar, a bullied child, and Eli, a vampire who is stuck in the body of a 12-year-old as they become friends. The film employs many of the techniques of suspense throughout to create an engaging and enthralling story, leaving the viewer on the edge of their seat throughout. This is done in three ways. The first way is through the masterful cinematography by Hoyt van Hoytma, who went on to work on such films as Interstellar and Dunkirk. His style of cinematography is evident throughout the film. His use of cinema verite elements, particularly extended takes, effectively build tension. The second is through the use of minimal editing to build suspense without being over the top or flashy. The third and final way is through the use of sound, which is used to great effect at key moments. All three of these techniques are visible in one key scene, Eli's first on-screen kill. The minimal use of only 10 shots throughout the 2.5-minute scene increases tension and suspense by omission. The viewer is not hyper-aware to the actions of every single character, and thus they have to put the pieces together themselves, increasing the suspense. The scene opens with a long shot, as the camera tilts up and something darts across the screen. Right from the get-go, the scene starts to build suspense, the viewer wondering who or what is hiding under the bridge. As the camera tilts up, Jock and Lack are shown from a low angle, indicating that they are in control of their situation. As well as this, Jock is physically on top of Eli, something that will become significant later. The sense of comfort and power that the camera angle gives is reinforced to the viewer's minds by the lighting illuminating the scene relatively evenly, giving the illusion of normality and safety, unlike later in the scene, where Eli and Jock are cloaked in shadow. The first indication that something may be wrong is the continual cuts to a close-up of Cat Guy, watching them from the windows of his apartment. In many ways he symbolizes the viewer, an outside observer continually watching but powerless to help. This parallel editing creates tension as to whether Eli will be caught, or whether she gets the blood she needs in time, as well as helping the audience to view it from the characters' perspectives. These suspenseful elements ultimately help the viewer connect with the characters, helping them build suspense as they ultimately end up caring for them like friends, and thus worry about them more, creating suspense. The lack of music throughout the majority of the scene is effective in amplifying the viewer's awareness to the sound of Jock's footsteps in the snow. The sound of the footsteps in the snow is often associated with suspense, mystery, and fear, increasing tension by creating the thought in the viewer's mind that something sinister is about to happen. The sense of calm then visibly changes as Jock turns to walk under the bridge. The lingering shot of him framed in the dark alley behind him tricks the viewer into thinking that he may be attacked from behind, subverting expectations when nothing happens. As Jock is approaching the bridge, the transition from a medium to a long shot allows the viewer to fully take in Jock's position and his place in the scene, increasing the suspense by allowing the viewer to see all that is happening, but keeping it from the characters. At this point, Jock is backlit from just behind the bridge, with Eli hidden in shadow, symbolizing his compassion and willingness to help, whereas the darkness and shadow gives hints of Eli's inner darkness, rage, and hidden abilities. The diegetic Foley sounds that are heard while Jock and Eli are under the bridge help to immerse the viewer in the scene, increasing tension. Some of the sounds that achieve this are the sounds of the car and truck, which combined with the whooshing of the wind and the echo under the bridge, create an eerie sense of loneliness, reminding the audience that no one is coming to save Jock. A wide shot combined with a long take allows the viewer to feel immersed in the scene, and as Jock approaches Eli under the bridge, it creates concern in the viewer's minds. As the long take progresses, Jock moves closer and closer to Eli, becoming enveloped in the shadows as he does so, indicating to the viewer that he is no longer safe in the comfort of the light. This could also symbolize how he will become, in a way, part of Eli, as he is slowly enveloped by her darkness. This is also supported by how, as he gets closer to Eli, it becomes increasingly difficult to tell them apart. At this point in the scene, the viewer is aware that Jock is likely not walking out from under the bridge alive. This is confirmed to the viewer when a long shot from a high angle is seen of Eli standing on top of Jock. This is further evidence of parallel editing, as it is portrayed from Cat Guy's perspective. This indicates to the viewer that Eli is now in control. From Jock being shown on top of the bridge, to then him picking her up, bringing her to his level, to then her being over him. This symbolizes Jock's fall into the darkness. The last major diegetic sound is the growl that Eli gives before attacking Jock, followed by a loud non-diegetic sound, bringing catharsis to the viewer as the majority of the tension is relieved as they know Eli's main task has been completed. Let the Right One In employs many of the techniques of suspense, including cinematography, editing, sound, and all-around mise-en-scene, to create an engaging and enthralling story that is overall highly suspenseful and effective.